Hey guys, welcome to Taste This TV. I'm Chef Joe Ciminera. Another great product review coming up, or maybe just an insight on popcorn. So if you think you know everything about popcorn, you may be wrong. Tune in a little bit and find out just what's popping here on Taste This. Okay, so popcorn, right? It's got to be America's favorite snack. Most likely it is, and it's definitely one of my favorite too. But what is popcorn, and does it really perform anything that's healthy to the body? I mean, let's face it, when you go into a movie theater and you get this sort of popcorn smothered with bud and all this trans fats and everything else, is it really healthy for you then? Well, I have a couple of different types of varieties here with popcorn. This is a typical holiday popcorn, right? It's usually soaked in like a kettle corn, cane sugar and stuff like that. They heat the sugar up to a liquid and then they pop the popcorn together with the kernels, and it's got sort of that sweet flavor on it, and you've probably had it in a million amusement parks and carnivals. So this is how they make it, and then the coloring here, this is just a basic artificial coloring that they use to make it look like a Christmas festive type of thing. That's one popcorn, and then you have our plain popcorn here. Now, you probably guessed it, that plain popcorn is going to be more healthier for you. Now, both popcorn has fiber, so you don't have to worry about that, and it is a great healthy snack, but really depending on what you're putting on it. So you have the plain popcorn, and it's always best if it's air popped, of course. If you are going to pop it in some sort of oil, you should use an avocado oil or walnut oil, something like that. They have a relatively decent high smoking point, so you don't have to worry about the oil changing and turning or burning or tasting burnt in any kind of fashion when you're making this popcorn. Next up is your kettle corn. Now, kettle corn, caramel corn, chocolate covered popcorn, stuff like that isn't going to be the most healthy for you. It'll spike up your blood sugar and everything else. It would not be good for an everyday snack, but it may be healthy for you just to pop every now and again and satisfy the brain and say, hey, I have my sugar rush for the day. But all in all, popcorn is definitely a favorite healthy snack, but really depending on what you're putting on. What I don't recommend you do, and I'm sure you've done this before in the past, is soak it with that imitation butter. They call it butter at the movie theaters, but it's everything far from butter. It's loaded with soy oil, palm oil, canola oil, all the man-made oils that you want to stay away from. It is loaded, but it's got that butter flavor, folks, and it tastes good. Kills your heart and is trans oil, but you know what? We eat it anyway. So stay away from that if you can. Try to find popcorn that's organic. There's tons of popcorn companies right now that are decent. Just look at the back of the ingredients. You want the simple basic ingredients to be listed: salt, popcorn, and nothing else. You start to get into all this soy and the trans fats and all these different kinds of sugars that are put on the popcorn, and that's where you kind of get into an unhealthy lifestyle with popcorn. Popcorn could be great in its old-fashioned plain form, and it could be killer in the soaked cane sugar that you see here. And my friends, please stay away from any type of microwave popcorn unless you really read the labels and see what it's made out of. Most of that crazy killer bag popcorn has loaded with trans fats, not to mention all the plastic that leaks through the bag into that popcorn. Keep in mind, it's sizzling oil, sizzling fats. It's drawing all that junk and toxic waste from the actual bag into your popcorn. So that bag microwave popcorn may taste great, but what it's doing to your liver at the end of the consumption is something else. So you want to try to avoid any type of microwave popcorn. You'd probably be better off taking a pot, putting it over the stove, 1 cup of raw kernels, and you have 2 tablespoons of, let's say, a avocado oil, walnut oil, or something like that. Close the lid, shake it around with some salt, and it'll pop on its own. You're on high heat now, right? When it starts to pop, you lower it down to like a number 3. So you're starting at 10, you lower it at 3, and then let the steam and the oil pop the rest of the popcorn. It can't get any more natural than that. You decide which one you want. I'll only give you my insight on it. Thank you for watching another fun-filled episode of Taste This TV. I'm your host, Chef Joseph, and remember, there never was any rules in cooking, certainly not when you're eating your popcorn. taste this.